So what I want y'all to understand today is that it's levels to this. When it comes to the success thing, it's levels to this. You know what I mean? Meek Mill was completely right when he said that. So I'm going to tell y'all exactly what I mean when I say it's levels to the success.
Headed to the top, there ain't none of y'all stopping me. Used to say I never get a ring, Charles Barkley. Now I got a wife, got kids, own property. Bubble-eyed beans that look like that be watching me. Okay, I lied about the beans, but that was hard though. I'm still in that black act, but she starred though. Cause that's all it takes. I'm flashing for. I'm on my grind, not no more fashion show.
First off, good morning to y'all on this Monday morning. AJ Simmons here, coming to you, giving you your early morning motivation for the morning. So here we go. First thing I want to tell y'all is this. I get so many people, and relatives in particular, that like to look at my lifestyle and see that I can wake up without an alarm clock, and I can go to the gym, I can go to the store and go shopping in the middle of the day on a Tuesday morning or afternoon. I can pretty much come and go as I please, make my own schedule, right? Because my business allows me to do that, and I've created that for myself. But what they always fail to realize when they say, oh, I want your life, or I wish I was in your shoes, when they see that all of the things that I had to go through to get just to this point. And like I always remind you, this, even what I'm doing now is relatively nothing, you know what I mean? But just to get to this point, it takes so much. It took me so much to get here. See, people, let me walk y'all down memory lane a little bit. See, first off, people forget that it took courage just for me to be able to quit my job, my nice paying, good benefit government job, to be able to just walk off and say, you know what, forget it, I'm done. People don't want to go through that part of it. That's a level that you got to go through. You know what I mean? People, matter of fact, I take it way back. People don't want to be homeless. People don't want to get put out their mama house when they was 17. You know what I mean? Sleeping in an abandoned house. My mama moved and told me I can't come with her. And I slept in that abandoned house until the maintenance man kept coming in and they caught me, and I was embarrassed, so I just never came back. Then I slept over a girlfriend's house for a couple of days until I finally gave in and went in and sucked up all my daggone my pride and asked one of my best friends, foster mom, could I live with her? And I'll pay her $200 a month, which I didn't have. So I joined the military just to find somewhere to live. People don't want to go through that. People don't want to go through that. People don't want to go through being broke. You know what I mean? People don't want to go through that. Me and Gina, we've been through so much. From broke down cars after broke down cars. Getting stuck at gas stations. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, when she was pregnant with my oldest daughter, well, not my oldest daughter, but my oldest child, my daughter, the lights got cut off at our apartment because we couldn't afford to pay it. And I'm outside trying to figure out how the hell to work the circuit breaker thing so I can cut it back on, because I didn't know. After somebody told me you could, I figured I'd try, which I couldn't. And I had to call my cousin to bail me out so we can get some lights back on, because we was in there freezing to death in the middle of the winter. Night before, we had to sleep in the car because I had too much pride to ask somebody for help. People don't want to go through that level of it. Sleeping in the car just so we can have some heat. That's the type of stuff you got to remember. It takes so much more than what people understand. When I bought my first cleaning business, I was a horrible business owner. Sweeping crumbs under rugs. Not vacuuming at all. Not mopping sometimes. You know what I mean? Just doing crazy stuff. Not going, not showing up all together, thinking I could call in sick as if it's a job and not a business. This is what you got to understand. It takes so much more. There's levels to this. You can't just, oh, I want to do that and think it's going to. No. See, people will look at when you look at the beginning of my YouTube channel and you actually see, well, actually that channel got deleted. That's why I'm over here now. But at the beginning of my first YouTube channel, you could see before I bought into this cleaning franchise that I'm in now. And then all of a sudden, 2 years later, I'm franchise owner of the year. How does that happen? You mean to tell me this guy just bought in, did some YouTube videos, told you he was going to buy into a cleaning franchise, he buys in. Every time he does cleaning business updates, he get the bigger number, more accounts, more money. Next thing you know, he's franchise owner of the year, honorable mention, over 10,000 other franchise owners. No, something got to be rigged, right? But it's not rigged. It's just that I went through the levels. See, what y'all got to understand is before I got into this franchise opportunity, I bought in before when I was 19. I bought in then and I was a horrible franchise owner. But that experience I was able to learn from. And see, that's the key. You got to be able to learn from your mistakes. And that's how I was able to do it so seamlessly this time and make it look easy. You think about when I had a barbershop, my very first barbershop. Man, we couldn't pay the bills in that place and the water got cut off. I had to send one of my guys out there who had just got out, who was working for me as a barber, to go out there and dig up in the mud, open up the little water spout and get I think he had a crowbar to turn the dang water back on. That's the type of stuff that I had to go through. Y'all not understanding. I done ran so many businesses without even having business licenses. You know what I mean? Just trying to make it and say we'll worry about that later. That's the experience that you got to learn from. That's to just get out there and make it happen stuff. You know what I mean? That's why now that I'm only 28 and I'm able to sit here and be a business consultant, be able to be what some may call a mentor, because I've been through so much and there's levels to it. You got to make it through those levels. People don't understand that part. Well, before I bought in, I thought that making $4,000 a month was so great. Now, if my business was to generate $4,000 a month, I'd probably be homeless because it's not enough. $4,000 a month, if I wasn't humble, I would say it's laughable. You know what I mean? For a business. And that's what you got to understand. I'm telling you though, it's levels to this. Y'all don't understand what I'm telling y'all. It really is levels to this. When I tell you, I can't even begin to tell y'all of all of the things. Like I'd have been to every temp service you could possibly think of in this area, in my city, and the 6 cities surrounding my city. I done every temp service job you can think of. I done pretty much any job with the exception of fast food. I never worked fast food, but with the exception of that, I probably done anything you could probably think of. And I was a horrible employee. Let's just be honest. Most entrepreneurs are horrible employees. But I had to do what it took. And it ended up paying off for me because I got so much experience. So as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, now I know a little bit about everything. And that's what entrepreneurs usually are. We know a little bit about everything. We're not experts about one thing. You hire people who are experts, but you got to know a little bit about everything because you got your hands in so many things. And I'm not talking about outside your business. I'm talking about within the business. You got to know about your taxes. You got to know about the service that you're providing or the product that you're providing. You got to know about the laws that are required for the business that you're in. You got to know how to manage employees. You got to know how to lead. There's so many things that you have to know when you're an entrepreneur and when you're the one that's starting that business from scratch. And that's why so many lessons are great to learn. And that's why you have to do so much and fail and fuck up, but then you learn from it. You got to grow from it. You can't keep making the same mistake over and over and over again and then don't grow from it, because now you're being insane. You're not being smart. So you got to do things for experience and then learn from it. And that's how you make it to those next levels. All right, so remember that it's levels to this. It truly is. When Meek Mill made that song, I'm telling you, he knew from experience that it really is levels to it. You got to remember that. So I'm going to go ahead and close out because I don't want to hold y'all too long. I just want to give you a quick dose this morning to understand what it takes to be successful in this life. All right. My tip for today is just keep going. Keep going, because no pain, no gain. It's going to be rough and it's going to be hard. It's going to be tough. Like if it was easy, everybody would do it. Y'all heard this stuff before. You know what I mean? Like all of the people who you consider successful, and I consider myself relatively successful. You know what I mean? And the people that you see are successful, Listen to them. Notice that we all are saying the same thing, and it's not because we copying each other. It's because when you've been through it, you can attest to it that it's not just cliche. It really is what it is, like what we're saying. Like, it really is like that. It really is, if you believe, then you can achieve. It really is harder than what it looks. It really does take blood, sweat, and tears. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it takes. You really got to make it through those levels. And I just want to drive that home.